Welcome to Afterthoughts with Erica. My name is Erica O'Meara, and as I begin my journey to becoming an end-of-life doula, I'm challenging myself to talk to 100 people about death, dying, and what comes next. Join me as we explore these stories and work together to make the topic of death less uncomfortable, one conversation at a time. Afterthoughts with Erica is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. The opinions expressed are solely of the speakers and do not represent legal, medical, or financial advice. This series does not supersede any written last will and testament, legal documents, or directives. Please note that this series may contain adult subject matter and with strong language. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back to Afterthoughts with Erica. Today, I am joined by a very special friend, my girlfriend, Sarah. She is a wife, a mother, a yoga teacher, a Reiki practitioner, and most near and dear to my heart, she is my New Moon Circle facilitator, and that's how we met. And probably my favorite aspect of you, Sarah.
Aww.
Not to be selfish, but you're a very good circle facilitator, and I value that time every month. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you for being a part of it.
And thank you for being a part of this and for encouraging others to be a part of it. I really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's a conversation that needs to be talked about.
Yeah. So let's get right into it. Question number 1. Are you afraid of dying?
I feel like I used to be. But now I definitely can say that I'm not. And I think that has to do with a lot of different spiritual aspects that I have found within my own personal life. But long answer short, no.
That's great. Is there a death in your past that shaped the way that you view death and dying?
Yes. So the first death that I can remember was one of my grandfathers, and I was very close to him. And I remember being a little girl and I was very attached to him, and I would lay around and have these intrusive thoughts of he's gonna die one day, and I would just cry thinking about his death. And then it happened, and it wasn't so detrimental to me as I thought it was. And then in 2016, I had an ex of mine who was very important to me. He died, and I think that really just sent me down a spiral of wow, okay, actually life is not guaranteed to us, and this could just be ripped from you any minute. So I would say that profoundly changed my aspect of just viewing death, because that one was a very tragic death, whereas my grandfather was old. He had lived a beautiful life. So yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, it is rough when people pass too young.
Mm-hmm. He's forever 22 in my mind now, so that's hard to grasp.
And rough for you because you were young too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So do you believe in the afterlife?
I do, yeah. I think everybody's view of the afterlife probably is a little bit different. I'm not entirely sure what my afterlife looks like, but I do believe that our souls will move on and do something. I don't know, whether reincarnate or just live in the ether. I don't know, but I do feel there is some sort of afterlife.
If you could have an ideal death, what would that look like?
I think that's such a hard question, because I just think I would want to go to sleep and not wake up. I wouldn't want it to be painful. I wouldn't want it to be long. Wouldn't want I don't know, it's selfish for me, but I wouldn't want everybody that I love and know to be there and be crying about it. I feel just quick and sudden would be the way.
I agree with the quick. I think that everybody, hopes for a quick
one. Yeah, absolutely.
If you could bring one thing with you in death, what would it be?
Oh man, if we're talking like a material item,
It can be whatever you want.
if we're talking a material item, I'm bringing a book with me.
Ooh, that's a good one. What book would you bring?
Okay, I have this series that I'm just like truly obsessed with right now. And maybe I won't be as obsessed with it come that time, but it's called A Court of Thorns and Roses. It's a 5 book series. I'm bringing the whole series with me. That's just going to keep me entertained forever.
I love that. I think that's the first time I've heard book.
A
So I
book. But if it
love
was like,
that answer.
I don't know, if it was not a material thing, like, of course, you're selfish and you want to bring like one of your loved ones, like, come with me.
Yes. How do you want your funeral to go?
I've been to so many funerals and so many of them have just been sad. And anybody who knows me as a person knows I'm not I don't want to say I'm a sad person. I'm not a sad person, because of course, but I like to believe that I have this like sunshiny array of myself. And I would want it to be like a celebration of life. I would want it to be a party. I would want people to be like sharing, you know, their experience with me and just like sharing really fun memories that like we've created and pictures and music and just like, yeah, just a fun time. I don't want people to be sad, but I know that obviously sadness comes with death, but I want there to be more joy in just the life that I lived.
Yeah, I think that that's fair.
Mhm.
So leading into that, what does your funeral playlist look like?
I mean, so if we're talking sad songs, I don't know, because like I have a sad girl playlist. So like there's gonna be
Okay.
and these are also just songs that I have kind of used to help me through some grief. So like passing that forward, Let It Be by the Beatles, like of course. Um, Forever Young by Rod Stewart. That's a good one. Um, Fire and Rain, also a good one. And then anything Stevie Nicks, like I'm definitely I can just play Stevie Nicks and think of me, please.
Will
um,
do. That's an easy one.
but if it's like a party, I don't know. Like I definitely want some upbeat, play my favorite band, sprinkle some dancing in there. I don't know.
Do you want live music? I'm actually
Oh my
writing this
gosh,
all
how fun
down
would
so that
that
everybody
be?
understands. What's
That would
that?
be so fun. Yeah, like bring a band on. Bring a saxophone to my funeral, please. That will just send me out with a bang.
I love that.
That is my jam. I'm all for the horns.
That's awesome. Okay, saxophone at your funeral and Stevie Nicks. We
And
can make
Stevie
that
Nicks.
happen.
It's a beautiful combo, honestly.
It honestly is. What do you want done with your body after you die?
So I think our first thought is just to be buried. My mom has instilled it in me to like for her funeral to like cremate her. Like she does not want she wasn't doesn't want to be buried. So then that kind of like instilled a conversation in my mind of like why? Like and then there's the fear of like not being dead and like just being stuck in this coffin, like being underground, right? But now there's like new ways of being buried or whatever. And I think my favorite is coming back as a tree. Like if I have to be cremated in that aspect to do that, then cremate me and just put me in a seed and grow me in your backyard.
I love the tree idea.
I do too. I think it's so beautiful because then it's a piece of you that lives on. I mean, not forever, but as long as that tree stands, and trees are old.
Yeah. And then even when trees, pass, they fertilize the ground. So
Exactly. Yeah, so it's the gift that keeps giving.
no destruction of energy.
No.
Okay, this one's our little funny one. If you could haunt somebody after you die, who would you haunt?
Okay, so I don't really like the word haunts because
Okay.
I feel I personally live in a home that several people have passed away in. And so their energy lives in it and they fuck around with me and my family members all the time. So I think of course, when I was little, that scared me. And I feel like haunt comes with like a scary aspect. I think I would definitely make my presence known, specifically to my children if, you know, I'm unlucky enough to outlive them, or my husband. And of course, if my mom is still here, I would absolutely play around with her so much.
So you would be mischievous energy.
I would be mischievous. Yeah, just be like, hey, you haven't thought of me in a while. Here's a reminder. And to my best friend, like I would definitely, my friend Lindsay, I would definitely be like all up in her everything.
Just letting them know you're around.
Yep, I'm here. Not going nowhere.
Our final question is, what do you want people to remember you for after you die?
I think that I loved hard. I loved many. And just that there's this reminder to, like, I hope that I kind of set the reminder to live authentically and follow your heart and passions.
I think that those are great things to be remembered for. And I pretty much guarantee that you'll be remembered for those things.
Thank
you. Thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate your participation and helping me get to my goal of 100 people.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to be sending people your way.
I appreciate it. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much, honey.
I love you.
I love you too.
Day.
I'll see you, babe.
Bye.
Bye. If you haven't answered the 10 questions yet, please consider signing up to be part of this important conversation. Let's continue breaking the silence together. See you next time.